Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our final edition of On the Links Live for 2021. I'm Pete Holiday along with Karl Lawson. Good morning, Loss. How you doing today on this quite a nice Sunday morning for fall?
Well, after a week of rain, the almighty sun has come back, so it's awful nice, Pete.
Yeah,
That was a
it
lot
was
of
a wet
rain.
week. Yeah,
It sure was. You
yeah, it
stayed
was a
dry
lot
up
of.
there in the West End?
No, it was wet all around. Some courses closing. I don't want to say for the first time all year, but I don't know of too many days that were lost this year because of rain. So I think it was a good year that way.
Yeah, actually, some people would tell you that it was a pretty wet summer, but as far as golf courses closing, this was really the first time it happened this summer.
Yeah, there was a lot of rain. You're right. A lot of afternoon golf games got wiped out because it seemed to get a lot of rain about 3, 4, or 5 in the afternoon this year.
Yeah.
But not enough at all one time to close courses. But, Peterborough, Kawartha, Pinecrest, Wildfire,
Yeah.
all closing on basically Thursday and some on Friday too. So, yeah.
Well, you're talking, I think they were saying 81 millimeters at Pinecrest they recorded.
Wow.
So that was a pretty big record for sure. And this is the first year that I can remember in memory that I got chased off the golf course twice in the past month with lightning.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
yeah, it'd been a while. Lightning and then the thunderstorm. Cloud burst. Once we were on 12, and I think the second time we were on 14. So where we had to drive in, and I hadn't had to do that in a long time. Golfers don't like to quit on rounds if they don't have to.
No. What do you think the worst spot to be stuck on at a golf course would be at Pinecrest? Like, what's the furthest away? Like the 15th green? I mean, that's pretty deep into the woods.
Yeah, but you know what? Over the years, they've built a few more shacks that you can get to fairly quickly. So I mean, you can get over to 16. There's some cover. So it's pretty good now, even on the back, because you're up on 13 and some of those back holes. So it's certainly better than, I mean, 15 years ago, I think maybe we only had one place on the front and back. So no, it's pretty good that way. And we needed it. We had to get there and get inside. So it was a great place. That's where you meet other golfers.
Sure. Yeah. Sounds good. So despite all that, all the rain, Pinecrest was able to get their men's closing in yesterday. Let's just take a look. We'll get started here, Karl, with the leaderboard presented by Dion Jamidi, award-winning realtor who was number one back in August. We'll see if he's number one again in September or not. He's certainly number one with us for sure. But I guess we should. What's that?
I said that's a heck of an accomplishment.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
His brother Dan was number 8. So they're having fun with that. One brother number 1, one number 8.
Sure.
Ryder Cup, you've been following it. You've been watching it. It looks like a bit of a blowout going into today's final day.
Yeah, I've been able to watch as much as I can. Obviously, I didn't have the Friday rounds until I saw, the highlight stuff, but got to see quite a bit of it yesterday and then into the early evening yesterday. And yeah, it's a bit of a blowout at this particular point. For the Europeans to come back is it's improbable but not impossible. We've had 2 cases where the Americans in 99, Pete, were down 10-6, came back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And in 2012 the Europeans came back from 10-6 on the Sunday. So it's unlikely, but we've never had a team come back from 10-5. So if it happens today, it'll be history. Again, it's kind of unlikely, which is unfortunate because it's exciting in its own merit. I enjoy the format. I love the fact how the guys get into it. It's so cool. So, you'd like to see, 2 or 3 points separating the teams coming into Sunday, and now you got a shootout because, of course, we're into the 12 matches, the 12 singles today. So could be over early.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? you want it to at least be close, so it goes deep into the afternoon, if you will. But we'll wait and see. But they could be celebrating early in the States today.
I found myself cheering for the Europeans, in the yesterday's afternoon matches, and they could have stole a few more points. It ended up being a 2-2, but they had the lead in 3 of the matches for a long time. But I don't know if you said you haven't seen a lot, but the golf course has also been a star. Whistling Straits is in Walling, Kohler, Wisconsin, on the shores of Lake Michigan. But it's I love when courses are such a big part of the story. It's a grueling course. That's a word you heard a lot of the guys talk about, especially if you had to do 36 holes, Pete. Holy cow!
Yeah, these guys will be tired by the end of the weekend. It's a tough golf course. It's a grind. It's a lot of golf.
Yeah.
And a lot of them will shut it down after a while. Yeah,
and I was just going to make this point. I know when we were younger, we could walk out there and, knock off 36. But, you got to, they talk about golf being easy, but, think of yourself walking even Kawartha, 36 holes through the course of a day. You're going to be tired.
Yeah, a lot of up and downs.
Yeah, no doubt. Even though somebody's carrying the club, there's a lot of effort put in. But anyways, I'll be tuned in today for sure. For sure.
Very good. So Ryder Cup off the list of things to cover today. What else is going on? You got some local stuff?
Well, maybe for scoreboard, we should just do a quick throwback. We weren't able to do last week's show, and of course, I wanted to go back to just 2 weeks ago and throw some on the links shutout. And congratulations to our city and district champions. So we have from Kawartha Golf and Country Club, Jake Shaughnessy is the winner of the 49th Peterborough City and District Championships. So congrats to him. That was his first time winning the event, and he had a pretty good month, because earlier in the month, Jake had qualified. He won an Ontario Mid Amateur qualifier, so a big step for him. And then who doesn't want to win, your own city championship? So congratulations to him. And on the senior side of things, I could have fun with you and give you 3 guesses, but a friend of the show, he's won it more than once, Dan O'Donoghue. So congratulations to Dan. A great golfer. Yeah. And guess who he beat out another friend of the show, Pete, and a guy that we know well, who's had a lot of local golfing success, but Lenny Sheehan. Lenny and Dan were separated by 2 strokes. And so, that was a good match, for those 2 guys, by all means. Jay Mark, also from the Quarry Golf Course, he was in that. He came in second to Jake Shaughnessy, but it was a pretty well run away by Jake. But you know what I love? We're seeing all these. We're starting to see kids of our pro friends and stuff making these teams. Mark Aronson and guys like this. So fun event, and again, congrats to everybody out there. Our Pinecrest guys. Bob Dixon was looking to win it, but because we had the first round was at Pinecrest, but it was blowing that day, Pete. We had like 40-mile-an-hour winds, and the scores were really up that day. So, good year. Congrats to all.
They ended up playing the second round at Tamarack. I think it was originally scheduled for Lift Walk this year, but they had some greens issues. Something happened, and they shifted to Tamarack kind of the week of, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So,
they did. It was really late.
Yeah, that's a great event.
Yeah. Can I throw out one more?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
I didn't want to jump subject, but I also last week I got to play in the Peterborough Sports Hall of Fame tournament out at the Quarry, and had a great day. Yeah. I know that you make that tournament quite often, but this year, because of COVID, where there wasn't the big sit-down dinner, but I do love that tournament. I love looking around and seeing all those great sports stars that this city has. Particularly, I saw a lot of lacrosse guys, Carmi Collins, and it's just so many guys, and then now you see the mix of the 30-year-old former Pete's players, and I saw Robert Franz, and I played with JJ and Gaynor. But it's really incredible. I love seeing the older guys. It's a fun day. Lots of laughs.
It's amazing.
There.
Well, I did not make that one this year, but I did get to the Lakers alumni tournament on Friday. And you spoke about some legends there. It's got a very similar feel to it. Not as big of an event. We had 90 guys out there as opposed to 200 and something that they had at the Hall of Fame. But same type of feel. And there's some legends there that I think they probably played in the Hall of Fame tournament too. But you got Bobby Allen, one of the best to ever pick up a stick. John Grant, Carmi Collins, you mentioned, and there's my uncle Pete Gearin as well. All four. Pretty good players, perhaps in that order, maybe too. I don't know. That's debatable, but
that's a really good call, Pete. I'd go with the Bobby Allen as number one for sure, and John Grant. He was right during my. I loved watching John play. He obviously always stands out in a crowd. John Grant, does he not?
Oh well, look at the size of him. But yeah, I mean, and the funny thing, Karl, these four guys, when the tournament was all said and done, they were the last to leave as well.
There you go.
Sitting around, stories after stories after stories, and just enjoying each other's company. So that was a great day. The Laker Classic out at Keystone, which actually on Friday there were some spots, and you had to be careful with the carts in the odd spot, but it played really well despite the rain the day before. It was in great shape, best shape I've ever seen it in. So
yeah, you were mentioning about stories, and I also was, that was the thing I enjoyed is I was in the parking lot pre the tournament, and of course JJ and a few of the lacrosse guys from those 70s teams, and to hear them reflect on some of those, they probably told the story so many times, but the things that went on behind the scenes, and they played. I don't know if you realize that, but in the 70s when they went out west to play at Burnaby in some of those cups, they played in front of 28,000 or something at one of those arenas, which was I would never have guessed you would have got 20,000 plus to see a lacrosse game back in the 70s. I didn't realize that they could draw that many fans back then, so that was kind of neat. And I want to mention one other guy, again a friend of the show, but Dougie Gibson, who I think runs the Hall of Fame tournament.
Yeah,
I didn't realize, Pete, that he in retirement has become quite the golfer and was won the Peterborough Golf and Country, was senior men's champion. Is that correct?
Could be. That's the first I heard of that, but I mean, Gibby, he knocks it around pretty good. He's a lefty, but plays pretty good.
Yeah, he was giving it to me. I told him I didn't realize he was that good a golfer, so he was giving it to me pretty good. But
he's an athlete. He's an athlete, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you see Gibby on the course. You're not going to mix him up with Phil Mickelson, but he can punch it around, right, and get up and down. And athletes are athletes, and they can figure it out. So.
Yeah, I was going to say we shouldn't forget he scored about 1,000 goals in the American Hockey League. So like you say, a pretty fine athlete for sure.
You may know this, and I may have asked you this before, but speaking to Doug Gibson, do you know what NHL record Gibby holds?
Well, I know for sure that he had the goals. I believe goals for sure, maybe points in the American League. I know there was one time he had a couple of records, and they had to be for scoring. Would I be close?
It's a bit of a unique record and more of a feat than a record. I guess it's down to the record book, but he played the most NHL games ever by anyone without taking a penalty.
Wow, with his call ups to Boston.
Yeah. So wow. I mean, I think Gibby, he played just under 100 career games, but it's the most anyone's ever played in their career without actually taking a penalty. So he never had one NHL penalty. So it's a unique thing. it's a bit of a rare thing for sure. But
so he would have been a Lady Byng candidate for sure.
Probably had he had a full career. Yeah. And that was with Boston in the 70s. So that's hard to do. But
that was a tough lineup to crack, that one.
Again, right? Wrong place, wrong time.
But I have to ask you, you've been a Boston fan I think your whole life. So I just remember, always waiting when he got called up, because he'd had such a, great junior career and done so well in the American League. But, as somebody that cheered for Boston, you must have hoped for a little bit of offense. Like they wouldn't bring rookies up like they did back, they do now, There's no way they were bringing up, 20-year-olds in the 70s, were they?
Especially that team. They, Harry Sinden, all those guys, they were very, patient with their players in the minors, and still to this day, Boston's like that a little bit. Here, I'm just looking up Gibby's stats. I'll see how many games that was. So he played 63 NHL games, 9 goals and 19 assists, which is decent. I mean, just Boston never really gave him a shot, and 0 penalty minutes in the NHL.
That's a nice stat.
As you say, in the American Hockey League, and then when he went over to Europe as well, he racked up some big points. But twice scored 50 goals or more with the Petes, Dougie Gibson. But great job at the Hall of Fame, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they had the Hall of Fame ceremony yesterday. Was that correct? Were they having it? I know they usually have it in June, but I saw Rose Powers and some pictures yesterday of Rose, who got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Not sure, Pete. I'm not sure.
So anyway, I think that may have been yesterday. But anyway, you want to end on your closing day at Pinecrest here? Because what's this here all about? Is this the closest to the pin?
And I should mention you said men's. Yeah, I just want to mention you said men's closing day. It was actually a closing day for the course, so the ladies were out there as well. So my friend Julia Tanner, also a friend of the show. That was number 10, Pete. As you know, one of the toughest par threes to hit. And I snuck one on there early in the day. And quite often, it's hard to believe you can get, we've seen tournaments with a couple of hundred guys and that green get hit once. So, Reg Dooley, my nemesis, he cut me off later in the afternoon. So at the end of the day, it didn't hold up, but I got my name on the sign, buddy. So what can you say?
What does that stand for again?
PTW. Peter, pretty to watch. Somebody hung that on me years ago. Not Peterborough this week.
So is Pinecrest the only course that you could write those initials down and people would know what they're talking about, who it was?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. The only place I'd get away with it for sure.
That's the beauty of playing at a club event.
Yes.
You can have fun with that, or a tournament where it's a tight-knit group. You can put nicknames down or whatever the case be, and people know who you're talking about or who won it, right? It was great.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I didn't see your cousin Rick Giardino. I thought I saw him, on the course, and as usual, he's having fun with his group, but I didn't see his name on any signs yesterday, so the old St. Francis lad couldn't pull it out of the fire.
Ricky's played a lot of golf this year. I've seen the boys go on a Wednesday sort of tour, which is great. Spend some money elsewhere. And then, of course, their Friday games at Pinecrest and such. But,
yeah.
Oh, we got
I love the idea.
Bit of a shot thrown by Tim Burke here. Looking good, gentlemen, which we appreciate. But then he says no one wants to hear about the Bruins.
Well,
said by a true Leaf fan.
I was going to say hockey fans never change, eh?
The Leafs are undefeated this year, Karl. So start the parade. They beat Montreal in a preseason game last night.
Yeah, Montreal rolled over. But anyways, so it starts, eh, Pete?
So
we go from the rink to the rink, just like that.
Exactly, right?
20 years.
Our 20th year. But
Tim Burke played a little lacrosse, eh?
He did. Yeah, he did. And it was good to see his boy Nolan was in town Thursday with the Sarnia Sting and had a good game. And
that's awesome, eh?
Yeah.
You look good.
Yeah,
I know.
His first game.
I know.
He was a little behind.
Yep.
As far as I bet you he was huffing and puffing a little bit. It's tough to jump into an OHL game when the guys you're playing against or with have already played 3 or 4. So it was his first. He looked good. Yeah.
And then the
Absolutely.
excitement. Well, I know this is the end of our golfing, and we're crossing over a little bit into the hockey, and so I have to ask you predictions for our Peterborough Petes this year. Any?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be a hard-working team. They're going to be tough to play against physically. They're not going to get pushed around.
We got some size this year.
Austin. Yeah, size, especially on the back end, but a couple of big lads up front too. And it's just going to be such an unpredictable year. I mean, a lot of teams are going to have as many as 10, 11, 12 rookies in the lineup on any given night. So it's going to be weird. I think, if they can sneak into the last playoff spot, that would be a win.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be really good. Yeah, okay.
Because you want
that was fairly guarded.
Yeah.
I
think they're going to struggle to score goals. I think first. I think they may struggle to score.
Okay. Well, wait and see. But a big defense will serve you well, especially in a long season.
There's been other years I've said they're going to struggle to score, and out of the blue comes a Mike Ricci or a Eric Stahl. Just you just never know, right?
You don't, and that's what that's what you love about it. I mean, we see it in the NHL. Somebody that wasn't really on the radar, and next thing you know, he's a 30-goal man. So you just don't know.
We're going to take a quick break, Carl. We'll be back and wrap it up for another season. All right. And we want to thank our friends at Sandbagger again, Jay Rowan and everyone there for, again, hopping on board on the links. I'm sure they'll be back again next year, Carl. They're great to have on board.
Yeah. We had some great guests this year, Pete, that came on. So thanks to all the guys that did come out and participate this year. That was fun.
Speaking of Sandbagger, saw many, many photos over the course of the summer, and there's a couple characters there enjoying a Sandbagger back at the quarry by the looks of it there.
Yeah.
That could be the 10th hole, I'm thinking, as they make the turn. So, yeah, it was great.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I was just going to say, Corey, I was reminded that it's a golfer's golf course. It's a tough course in that there's a lot of holes with a lot of carry. Beautiful course.
Oh, yeah.
But tough. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy playing scrambles there because playing solo there, it's a grind. It's a tough course, and you got to be sharp, right? Or else you're looking at a dozen balls. But great condition. Keith Rasmus has it in great condition. It's a beautiful course, and man, they put a lot of rounds through the quarry this year. Between tournaments and members, and it's a nice job, Kevin and the crew out there. Listen, Carl, I wanted to thank a couple more of our sponsors here. Tony Porter, Tony's Clubhouse. Tony and his son Riley played in the Lakers alumni events on Friday, and had a great day with Steve Effer from Reggie's Hot Grill. But you know what? If you're planning on playing some fall golf, why not take advantage of that great deal all season long, the exclusive deal for On the Links for just $97. If you don't want to do it this fall, believe me, it's worth the $100 next spring to get some new grips on those clubs. Just do it. It's the best investment you could get and do.
The boys were giving it to me a little bit about my 7-iron. I haven't regripped it. You're afraid sometimes to change things up, but it's pretty worn, Pete. So I may have to probably see Tony over the winter.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt. Not going to hurt. No. Who else do we need to sponsor? Our friends at Nexicom, of course. They're our major sponsor. Thank you very much, Nexicom. Appreciate that. On board. as always. We mentioned him earlier, Dion Jamidi. Dion's been great supporting the show, keeping it local, and we appreciate everything he's done as well. And the Peterborough Golf and Country Club, of course, have always been one of our great sponsors too, Karl and Michael and everyone there. It's been a great season over there. They've got lots of golf in too, and so shout out to them because they repost they share our feed every week on their Facebook page, which the more people can do that, the more we can help sort of grow the game and tell everyone about the great things happening here.
So I want to just thank the golf courses, Jan and Bob down at Pinecrest, the guy Mark and Betty over at Kawartha. They keep us up to date as much as they can with what's going on, and players and people who are doing well, and the odd hole in one. So we couldn't do it without the support of the golf courses as well. It was a little harder getting around this year. Again, the COVID challenges with protocol, even interviewing people, stuff like that. So I didn't get out and about as much as, I know in past years, you would interview me at a different course every Sunday. A little harder to do this year, but hopefully come next year we can get back out where we can visit a few more of our friends. We didn't get out to Baxter Creek this year.
No.
It comes to mind.
You're right.
So, but again, it was tough. So we're blessed with many great courses in the Peterborough Kawartha Golf Trail. And as always, Pete, it's been fun, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you. And if you can save me one round at Pinecrest this year, that'd be great. I wouldn't mind playing a early October round next week. Hey.
Yeah, well, let's grab your boy. I got a nephew, Declan Reddy, who I own a round too. I had to cancel at him. I had to cancel last week. We were supposed to play Kawartha on a Friday. I couldn't do it, but maybe we could do that. That would be fun.
Sounds good. Thanks to everyone, all the great guests we had on the show this year that joined us on a Sunday morning. Carrie from the Red Rooster Golf Glove, that was a good one. We had Rob Leth on there, and he joined us a couple times. The boys from the Sandbaggers, Shayna Kelly.
Our drummer friend.
Thursday, that was a good one. Jeremy Taggart from Our Lady Peace fame joined us for a great episode. That was probably the most fun one for sure.
Yeah, we'll have to get Jeremy back on for sure.
We had some laughs with that one as well. Got to get my buddy Mark Hebscher on the show next year. We should have had him on last week, but we didn't have a show. But he came down and enjoyed some great golf down in the Peterborough area last week. So
I saw the pictures. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. He really enjoyed the three courses you played here. So it was a fun year. Lots of great guests. Karl, you're going to take it easy today and just watch a little football instead of teeing it up. Is that what I hear?
Yeah. That's what I'm going to do, Pete. I'm hoping are you going to give me a tip? I want to go play my Pro Line pool. So I was wondering, is there one game today that you can guarantee that I can win on that NFL pool or what?
Let me take a look at who I played here. Point spread or pools? Pool?
I'm pools. I like straight up wins. So how about the big matchup, I guess, would be is going to be Baltimore and who they got today?
Detroit and Baltimore.
No, it's not that one. No, there's a couple today. I think LA and somebody is a big matchup.
Green Bay and San Francisco will be a good game.
There's a good one.
I would think.
Who do you like there?
It should be. I like San Francisco at home, personally.
I do too.
Philly and Dallas should be a good game. That's tomorrow night, I think. That's the Monday nighter.
Yeah, Dallas. They make you think they can win, but fingers crossed.
Yeah, the LA Chargers and KC. That should be a good one.
That one.
Yeah.
There's your upset. Yeah. I'm calling that one. Seeing it's the last show of the year, nobody can talk badly about me, but. Anyways, KC is a fantastic team. He's an amazing quarterback, but they're not going to go 13-0 or 14-0 this year. So I'm looking for the upset. That's my upset game for the day.
All right. As long as the Bills win, I'll be fairly happy.
Yeah,
Karl, we'll let you go get some chicken wings and get them ready, and say hello to the Hawk for me.
Keep rocking, buddy.
All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Our final show of the season will be back Masters Week in the spring. Back at her again. Remember, golf is a game. You want to hit it long, straight, and not too often. We'll see you next time on The Links. Ciao for now.